Manchester United have reportedly entered the race to sign Raphinha from Barcelona. Youssouf Fofana to United takes one step closer, with United now apparently leading the race for his signature. Jadon Sancho to PSG, more murmurs coming out, with Manuel Ugarte looking set as a possibility to come to Manchester United. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this afternoon's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 1,500 likes on this episode. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm live every single day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6. We're on the brink of hitting 37,000 subscribers. So if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe. Make sure you get involved. Everyone is welcome. Right, I want to start the show off with some confirmed news, because in the last couple of minutes, Manchester United have confirmed that Wan-Bissaka has left the club and joined West Ham. So this deal is now done. There were some murmurs saying that maybe the deal was going to fall through because of, you know, potential compensation packages and all of these things. And there was lots of scaring over the last couple of days. But this is on the official Manchester United website. So let's read out the news for you here. So it says Wan-Bissaka leaves Manchester United on a permanent deal. It says the right back signed from Crystal Palace in June 2019 and went on to play 190 games for Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka became known for his tenacity in the tackle and impressive one-on-one defending. Made his senior debut in August 2019, helping Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to a 4-0 win over Chelsea. Blah, blah, blah. It says everyone at Manchester United would like to wish Wan-Bissaka and thank him for his contributions to the club, and we wish him all the best for the future. And I completely echo that, to be honest. Like, Wan-Bissaka was a model professional. He never complained. He never faked injuries. He was always available, pretty much, and he always gave 150%. So I have nothing but good things to say about Wan-Bissaka. I think defensively, I'll stand by this. I genuinely think he's the best defensive right back in the whole Premier League. And I think West Ham have got themselves a great player here. So yeah, I wish Wan-Bissaka all the best. I understand why Manchester United have moved him on. He has 1 year left on his deal. There's no hope of a new contract. And he doesn't really suit a more attacking style of play. So yeah, fair play to Wan-Bissaka. He's joined West Ham, £15 million plus £5 million in add-on. So that's confirmed and done. Moving over to Matthias de Ligt and Mazraoui. The great news that I have for you today is that apparently both of those players trained with Manchester United at Carrington today. Obviously, there's no pictures of them in training because it's behind closed doors, but they have trained with the first team squad today, and we're expecting an announcement any minute. By the time this video goes out, they might have already been announced, but they have trained today, and they are both going to be available for the game against Fulham on Friday, which is amazing news, and I can't wait to see them both play. But right, let's move on to some transfer-related stuff, and let's start the show off by talking about Youssouf Fofana, shall we? So this is coming out from L'Equipe, it's coming out from Gazzetta dello Sport, it's coming out from Manchester Evening News, and it's coming out from Sky Sports. So this is being widely reported at the moment. And the headline is this, that Manchester United are set to make an important offer in line with Monaco's asking price to sign Youssouf Fofana. They say that Milan are now way, way behind Manchester United, who are now leading the race to sign Youssouf Fofana. How does everybody feel about that? I still feel like Youssouf Fofana, Sander Berge, Amrabat and Rabiot are the plan B options. I still feel like Manuel Ugarte is the player that Manchester United want. And we're probably only going to sign one midfielder. Obviously, Youssouf Fofana is seen as a cheaper alternative. He's available for about 25 million pounds, which is half the price of Manuel Ugarte. And the story that came out this morning from The Athletic was that Manchester United could afford to buy someone like Youssouf Fofana or someone like Sander Berge without having to sell anybody. Whereas if we want to get Manuel Ugarte, we will have to sell a player, whether that be McTominay, whether that be Lindelof, whoever. Like, we have to sell someone in order to be able to raise the funds to buy Manuel Ugarte. I like Youssouf Fofana. I think he's a decent player. I'm not sure if he's a specialist CDM. I think he's a little bit more of like a box-to-box. He's good defensively, though. He is physical and, you know, he has a lot of experience. So I wouldn't be against seeing Youssouf Fofana come to Manchester United. I still think Manuel Ugarte should be the priority if we can get that deal done. And if not, then Youssouf Fofana would be a great option. Sander Berge would be a great option. Amrabat as like a plan C option on loan, maybe. Fine with that. And Rabiot would probably be at the bottom of my list, to be honest, because we've spoken about Rabiot before. I just don't think it's a very forward-thinking signing. But you can let me know, like, who should Manchester United sign as the new midfielder? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As it stands, at the point of recording this video, it looks like Manchester United are trying to push forward for a deal for either Yusuf Fofana or Sander Berg, because effectively they can do that deal without having to sell anybody. And our Premier League starts on Friday, and we still don't have a CDM or a new midfielder. So I can see why Manchester United are doing that, because otherwise PSG effectively are in the driving seat. PSG know that we're desperate, and they know that we'll pay whatever they want. So I understand the logic behind this. And at this point, I just want us to sign a midfielder. I think we need one really, really badly. But moving on to a player who has apparently just handed in a transfer request. This is coming out from multiple different outlets in the last couple of minutes, that apparently Hannibal Mazraoui has just handed in a transfer request at Manchester United. Hannibal's got 1 year left on his contract. He wants to leave, as we all know. And there is no hope for Hannibal Mazraoui at Manchester United. He's not going to get a new deal. He wants to go. Obviously, there was interest from Celtic and also from, who was the other team? Rangers? Yeah, Celtic and Rangers were both very, very interested in him. And the report says that apparently he has come to Old Trafford, he has come to Carrington, and he has handed in a transfer request. There are lots and lots of teams interested in Hannibal Mazraoui. He's available for about £10 million, which I think is a fair price. 1 year left on his deal. He is a full Tunisian international, so he does have some experience. You have to remember, though, that he started off his career in Monaco, and there were some murmurs that apparently he wants to go back to Monaco. Now, is there a world where we send Hannibal Mazraoui to Monaco and we signed Yusuf Fofana instead? Like, that would be really, really clever business if Manchester United can do that. So obviously I'll keep you updated on that one as and when we get more news. But as it stands at the moment, Hannibal Mazraoui has handed in a transfer request and will be leaving Manchester United this summer, which I agree with. He definitely should go. Right, moving on from that, I want to jump on over to Jadon Sancho, because L'Equipe have just put out an article in the last couple of minutes saying that PSG are still keen on signing Jadon Sancho and are now working with Manchester United to try and agree a deal. So this is coming out from L'Equipe, which is one of the most biggest French newspapers and magazines. 6.7 million followers on Twitter they've got, and they're going with the story that apparently a loan with an obligation to buy is the most likely outcome for Jadon Sancho. I think that would be good business. I think if we could loan Sancho to PSG with an obligation for maybe 40 to 50 million pounds next summer, I would be happy with that. I don't want to just see a straight loan. I think that's pointless, because the problem we have is Sancho only has 2 years left on his deal. So if we loan him out now, he'll come back next summer with 1 year left on his contract. And I bet you any money, Jadon Sancho's the kind of guy where next summer he'd come back and say, I'm not signing a new deal. I'm not going to leave this summer. I'll leave next year for free. So Manchester United are in quite a difficult situation here, because they're probably aware that if they don't sell him now, then they're going to lose him for free in 2 years, because Sancho's not going to sign a new contract. Let's be clear. And next summer, all of the other clubs in Europe will be looking at the situation thinking, we can sign him for free in the January, because that's how it works, remember. So Sancho to PSG is definitely one to keep an eye on. And then on the flip side of that, ever since this story broke about Sancho going to PSG, stories have started coming out suggesting that Manchester United are going to look at Raphinha as a replacement. Now, I want you to let me know your thoughts. Like, would you like to see Raphinha at Manchester United? This is being reported by multiple different Spanish outlets. It's being reported by Manchester Evening News and a couple of other places. And it's saying that apparently Manchester United have entered the race to sign Brazilian international Raphinha. I don't know what I think about Raphinha. Obviously, he did really well at Leeds before he went to Barcelona. Apparently, Saudi clubs are trying to sign him, but haven't been able to agree a deal. I don't think Raphinha is the one, to be honest. I don't. He's 27 years of age. I don't think he's done particularly well at Barcelona, as far as I'm aware. And the other thing as well, which massively puts me off about Raphinha, is he's another big name player who has gone to a big club like Barcelona and hasn't really succeeded. He's on massive wages. He earns about 250,000 a week at the moment. And already, as soon as I kind of explain it like that, it just makes me think that would not be good business. And I'll be honest, it doesn't really sound like something Ineos would do. So as I always try and do, I bring you guys the news and I try and analyse it and give you my opinion on it. And I think this is probably more agent driven. So Raphinha's agent is trying to get him a move. What's the best way to get a player a move? Instantly link them to Manchester United. And then suddenly people think there's a genuine interest there and other clubs come in bidding for him. So yeah, I personally wouldn't sign Raphinha. I mean, it all depends on the circumstances. If Barcelona were like, we'll swap Anthony for Raphinha, I would do that in a heartbeat. But the reality of the matter is that's not really what's happening here. And the other thing as well, which we have to remember, is Barcelona have just signed Dani Olmo. But Barcelona are unable to register Dani Olmo until they sell a player. because they're in such a mess financially. So this is why we're linked to these players like Raphinha and Frankie de Jong, because Barcelona want rid of these people. They want to register Dani Olmo, and they can't do that until they sell someone. So, yeah, for me, Raphinha is a no, but I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Like, do you think he'd be a good addition to the squad? I personally, right, if it was up to me, I would let Sancho go to PSG and I'd bring in another striker, because I really think that our striking options are quite limited. Højlund's out for 6 weeks and had similar injuries last season. So our only striker is Xerxes. That's it. We have Chido Obi Martin, but he's not officially been announced yet. And there is some delays in that deal because of compensation that has to be paid to Arsenal. So at the moment, our only striker is, obviously we've got Ethan Wheatley as well, who's, you know, a young youth player, but I think we need like another out and out goal scorer. And I think if Sancho was to leave, then we should use that money to go and buy an Ivan Toney or a Jonathan David or someone like that, someone of that caliber, you know, someone around the kind of 30, 40 million pound mark who's going to guarantee you 50, 20 goals in the Premier League. So yeah, that would be my preference. Obviously, we've been linked to Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. I wouldn't go anywhere near him. I don't think he's particularly good. And yeah, so that's my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Like, would you sign Raphinha? And if Jadon Sancho left, do you think we should sign another winger or should we go for a striker? I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I'll be back live at 6 o'clock for a longer live show as normal. Please make sure to smash a like before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. This has been Daily Red Devil. I'll be back at 6. Have a lovely day and speak to you on the next one. Bye for now.